was introduced to Jirai Kei by Kiara, known as Earl Grey online, through her panel at KCON in 2022, which was extremely informative and interesting. It gave me a great base sense of knowledge of Jirai Kei. My first initial thoughts, though, were this is never gonna fit me, it all looks the same, and how is this any different than LARM? However, I have been researching it and wearing it for the last 3 months, and I have become obsessed with it. I really, really love Jirai Kei, and I really want to share it with you in case it's something that you might be interested in as well. For me, wearing Jirai Kei is a great bridge between two styles I tend to default on, which is wearing all black gothic clothes and then hyper feminine clothes. And this is sort of a nice in-between when I want to really feel feminine and look cute, but I don't want to be so over the top or so dark. This fashion does have a controversial name, a troublesome lifestyle associated with it, and a Western community that's already displaying signs of gatekeeping, which is nothing new to me as a Lolita, so I think that I am prepped and ready to talk about it. Let's explore Jirai Kei. But first, I do want to explain that I am learning this as a beginner along with you. This is all information that I have gathered. A lot of the time when I'm talking about Lolita, I'm referencing my accumulated knowledge over the years. But in this video, because I'm so new, I am going to be referencing a lot of sources. And there are 2 really good, really in-depth videos by Cybergirl featuring Jess and Kiara that explore Jirai Kei. So definitely a great resource, and if I don't source something, I probably got it from that video. Jirai Kei is a dark girly fashion, and it has a similar silhouette to, say, something like Liz Lisa, but there are certain characteristics that have developed that have made pieces identifiable as Jirai Kei. Typically, it's a mix of black with a muted color, most commonly light blue, light purple, light pink, creams, whites, and that's sort of it. It does make a lot of the outfits look quite similar, but if you do follow Jirai Kei accounts, you will see differences, and I think that this is actually a benefit because it is a very easy way to have a capsule wardrobe. For this video, I was gifted clothes from Devil Inspired to use. They made this video possible, thank you so much. And I only wore 1 skirt for all of these outfits, which was actually a mistake on my end because I meant to ask for another skirt, but the listing that I chose was actually the listing for a shirt. The listing had the shirt and the skirt in the photo, so make sure that you read listings very carefully. It totally still worked with 1 skirt. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to explain it before I talk about my experiences. Some popular pieces that can be recognizable in Jirai Kei is having like details around the shoulders, bows at the chest, ruffles, a blouse, a skirt, a dress with a collar and bow. It's also really popular to wear this MCM backpack, which is a German brand, and I have no idea how this became popular in this style. I'm assuming someone just wore it and then they kept wearing it. I couldn't find specific information about the origins of that, but I have noticed that many people have this backpack. It is very cute. Pigtails are the most common hairstyle in the fashion, and they're usually adorned with some type of bow. This headpiece was categorized as Jirai, and I have seen some people wear it as well as like Lolita rectangle headdresses. I have been wearing it so often because I get blonde roots and I'm too lazy to touch them up before dressing up, so this has been very handy for that. I have also noticed some Jirai Kei wears putting like small braids in their pigtails with extensions. This is the first time I'm trying it out today. I don't know how I like it. We'll see. Also, hime cuts are very popular in Jirai Kei, but there's no way that I'm cutting my hair into a hime cut again. It took me so long to grow out. The most common shoe that I've seen worn in this fashion is this sort of loafer chunky heel, which I'm personally not a fan of. I have flat feet, so I don't like my foot being at this kind of angle at all. I like the chunky aspect of it. I think that's the look that you really want to go for. So I had Devil Inspired send me these platform Mary Janes. I feel like they give that chunky look. They have kind of the split divide between. It's not like a solid platform, so it kind of gives it that chunky heel look while keeping my feet more flat. And I think these were intended for like goth fashion, but I really like how they look. I think that the Mary Jane style and like the straps give them more of a cutesy look. I've also been wearing my Demonia boots with this. I forget which model they are, so I will put that in editing. But I feel like the hearts and the straps give a little bit into the Jirai Kei look, even though they're not totally intended for it. And the platform is a little bit smaller, but it still has that kind of chunky vibe. When I first started looking into the fashion, I only saw people wearing under the knee socks and ankle socks, which I'm really not a fan of. I think they look cute on other people, but I don't like wearing them. However, recently I've been noticing more and more thigh-high stockings, just overall tights with like printed netting, even the type of tights that have the fake thigh-high printed on. I really love that style. I love the look of a skirt with thigh-highs, so that's where I've been leaning more into. Makeup is attributed as another big factor in Jirai Kei. I didn't really wear Jirai Kei makeup. I kind of loosely based some aspects of it, but I really don't change my makeup based on my fashion style. There are other fashions that have makeup associated with them as well. I don't really do that. I always kind of do my own makeup, and that is because my skills are not good enough to adapt to other styles. I feel like even when I do other people's makeup, I still look like I'm putting my face onto theirs because I just do my features or what I think fits my features with eyeliner and lip shape. I'm going to try to explore this makeup in a Patreon video by following a couple different tutorials. Kiara definitely has makeup tutorials on her TikTok that are very helpful. The makeup itself does involve trying to change your eye shape a little bit, and I know that anytime people hear eye changing makeup techniques, they start to get paranoid and wonder if it's Asian fishing, if it's Asian baiting. So I wanted to dive into that a little bit so that you can understand how to avoid doing something that could be problematic. So as Kiara has explained in her TikTok, it's really important to know the reasoning of why you are exaggerating your eye shape or changing your eye shape, and make sure that you're not doing it to replicate someone else's features. You're doing it to accentuate your own features. So for Jirai Kei, the eye style is trying to replicate like you are being weepy, you are on the verge of crying, much like this emoji. So I believe it's done by dragging the eyeliner downwards. I am not Asian. I am not a figurehead for Jirai Kei. This is all based off of information that I have found. It seems that the Jirai Kei makeup is not seen as offensive, even though you are changing your eye shape. It's because it is based off of an emotion. This fashion is often called Jirai Kei, Jirai fashion, Jirai onna, or landmine girl, landmine fashion, landmine style. Jirai literally translates to landmine, but this term is something that men in Japan have used in a derogative way to put women down that they deem as being emotionally unstable and explosive. However, the fashion is trying to reclaim that term to make it something more feminine and trendy. It is cited that Jirai Kei started in 2020, though you can see some looks dating back to 2019, 2018, and it came from Kabukicho, which is an area in Japan that is a party district, a nightlife district, and a red light district. So there is a bit of a party lifestyle that can often be associated with these clothes. I think that this is definitely a stereotype, and it's something that you won't really encounter if you are not in Japan. And even if you are in Japan, you can simply state that you're not a part of that party lifestyle or nightlife, or maybe you are. The lifestyle, stereotype, and culture of Jirai Kei fashion can really be seen through the character Yua in Tomorrow I Will Be Someone's Girlfriend, an ongoing manga and live action series. Actually, I don't think the live action series is ongoing. I think it's finished. That explores a bunch of different women in Japan and their different relationships and friendships and experiences. I'm not going to talk too much about this series. I did watch all of it in preparation for this video, and it was really entertaining, and I really got into it. I will say that if you have any insecurities with relationships or friendships or physical appearance currently happening, to maybe wait until you're in a secure place, because it can heighten those things. But if you can watch it and just enjoy it for the story, I think you'll really like it. Yua is a sex worker who is addicted to going to host clubs. She's sort of trapped in this environment where she has to do sex work in order to support her love of her host, which is a problem that's ongoing right now, especially right now in Japan. And the series takes a look at that. She also has struggles with harmful, destructive behavior, including self-harm and alcoholism. This is sort of a wrap-up of what people in Japan may associate this fashion with, because it is often worn by people in kabukicho and in similar situations to Yua, but it really is not relevant to, like, out in the West. I don't think anyone knows this niche culture out here, and I don't think they necessarily need to. It's similar to the way that Momoko is portrayed in Kamikaze Girls. She is a Lolita, she wears Lolita, but she's also someone who is supported by her family. She kind of loses everything to wear Lolita fashion. She's super obsessed with it. She wants to be a lifestyler and have every aspect of her life fitted this way. And sure, there are some Lolitas who are like that, but by and large, a lot of Lolitas are not. Similarly, with Jirai Kei, I'm sure there are people who are similar to Yua's lifestyle, but then it's also growing so quickly, becoming really, really popular, that I feel like there are a lot of people who aren't and who don't really even know about that. I think it's important to know the root of the fashion and where it came from and some of the stereotypes that can be associated with it, but we don't need to assume that everyone is involved with this type of culture and lifestyle. I even had a friend who's not involved in alternative fashion or J fashion at all, who was visiting Japan, send me a picture of a new outfit she got, and I was like, oh wow, you're wearing Jirai Kei, that's so cool. And she didn't know the term, didn't know anything about it. And you can see a lot of the styles in figures, especially in Sanrio. There's been a lot of releases of Kuromi wearing styles that look like Jirai Kei. I want to make it clear that, like, we should support sex workers. The reason that we don't want to support the situation that, like, Yua's in is because she's in it kind of against her will. She multiple times wants to quit, but she's being forced back into it because of this toxic cycle that she's in. There is a lot more to understand with kabukicho and the dark side of Jirai Kei. Cybergirl has a really great video on it. I will link more videos about kabukicho, but that is sort of a brief summary of what could be considered a Jirai Kei stereotype. I wore Jirai Kei to Disneyland, and I had a lot of people just complimenting my outfit. They weren't saying, why are you dressed up? What is this? What character are you? What cosplay is this? I'm sure that's bound to happen as well. I think because it is slightly less eccentric, people are not as shocked by it, and there's similar looks in Western mainstream fashion that you could mix in. I feel like the reason that it looks like everything is the same is also because it is a relatively new fashion and it is pretty accessible. A friend of mine and I explored this topic and we're talking for a long time about, do you lose creativity when things are more accessible because you're not trying to, makeshift pieces and try to fit things in when you can just order them directly from sites like Devil Inspired? I don't know. It also could be that this fashion is so new. I feel like even a few months ago when I was following Dear My Love's feed, there were the same type of pieces repeated, and now there is more variety. So it could just still be evolving. As I mentioned before, I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing that it all looks similar. It's easy to reuse pieces and have a capsule wardrobe and be more frugal with it. And I have found that generally pieces are a lot more affordable than Lolita fashion. They typically range from like $30 to $90, except for that MCM backpack. It's really expensive. Jirai Kei is still quite a size restrictive fashion. There are options for plus size. I don't know how actually plus size it is. You know how you sometimes order something that says it's plus size and it's actually like more like an extra large. I have found that the pieces from Devil Inspired that I have they do fit, which I was shocked. I have shorts that are an extra large that I did not think they were going to fit, and they did fit. The measurements were accurate. And then this skirt that I'm wearing, it has a very stretchy waistband that's extremely comfortable. The only thing that I would complain about this skirt is that there's no clasp at the top, and that would make it a lot more helpful to do up, but I haven't had any problems with it coming down. And then I also like that you can change these ribbons out, and I have been doing that to kind of give this skirt more looks to match it with different pieces, and then even just removing them entirely and having it more as a plain skirt. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I'm wearing this set from Devil Inspired that I haven't had a chance to really photograph and wear out, but it is a really cute blouse with shorts, and it's quite comfortable. It has lacing in the back to give it more of a cinched look. And yes, I did misplace the actual ribbon for it, and I'm using a different one that's not long enough, but I will figure that out later. I also got this blouse that's really cute and I really love it, and it's similar to the one that I was wearing throughout the most of my talking in this video, except the collar is different and then the sleeves are different. But every time I try to put it on to film, something happens and I'm not able to film, and I feel like it's jinxed, so I don't want to go get it and show you. Just trust me, I really love it. I've been wearing it out in the world. I'm just being superstitious about it because it's been multiple times where it started raining, or my camera battery was suddenly dead, or I had something else happen that kept me from documenting it. Like I was even gonna wear it during the portion of the video where I was talking and explaining everything, but I noticed that it had a stain on it, so then I had to clean it, and I got the stain out and it's fine, but I'm just like, it's not meant to be. It's a secret off-camera shirt. I really enjoy Jirai Kei. I feel very comfortable in it. I feel very cute, and I am not leaving Lolita. I feel like anytime I talk about another fashion style, people start panicking that I'm gonna quit Lolita. I'm definitely not. This is more of something that I'm gonna wear when I don't feel like wearing Lolita and I want to do something different. Maybe I don't want to commit to wearing a full coordinate and petticoat and all of that. I'm definitely still going to be wearing Lolita though, don't worry, and I will be returning to Lolita fashion content very soon. I do have a few other things to talk about aside from Lolita, but I'll try to sprinkle some Lolita content in there as well. I'm so grateful to my sponsor Devil Inspired for making this video possible. You can not only shop for Lolita fashion, but also Jirai Kei and other sub-styles. They are a great source for different alternative fashion subcultures. They are always expanding, so it helps to follow them. You can use my code LOVELOR, not lovelylor, but LOVELOR to get a discount. I don't intend for this video to be a full deep dive on Jirai Kei, but I'm hoping that you have enough information to go out and continue researching it or try it out for yourself and look into it. I will have so many resources in the description, and if you have more resources, please feel free to send them to me. I'll share them on my stories and in my posts whenever I can. Please let me know your thoughts about this fashion in the comments below. I would love to hear if it's something that I fully introduced to you, or if it's something you already knew about, if you have a lot of knowledge in it, if you participate in it, if you have no interest in it. I would love to know. Thank you so much for indulging me in my latest fashion obsession, and I will see you again real soon. For now, bye-bye. I've been told that people are afraid of my wood paneling, And I've had people request that I don't film in this area because they're afraid of my wood paneling. But like, this shirt is such a nice muted purple, and that room is so colorful that in front of it, like in front of my bright pink walls, my bright purple walls, it just looks sickly. So I don't have like a white or neutral space. So we're in the wood paneling. We're embracing your fears. I just associate wood paneling with like being very Canadian. I don't know why it's scary. Can someone please explain why people are afraid of wood paneling? Thank you.